You see, it's like the Breakfast Club, but with superpowers.
So where were you today? Were you with friends? Do you have any friends? Why are you so tired?
This is the problem. You ask her 4 questions before she's even answered the first.
Because she's like a ghost around here. She needs to start communicating.
Okay, Trini, let's start over. Please tell us one thing you did today.
Me and 4 kids from Angel Grove found a spaceship buried underground.
What?
I'm pretty sure I'm a superhero.
Cool. Pee in that cup!
Power Rangers, or technically Saban's Power Rangers, making its way to the big screen. You may have watched some Power Ranger TV shows over the years. There's been several incarnations, including the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers of the 1990s. That's the one that I would remember. Yep, it's those 5 amazing colors with their amazing superpowers coming together to fight all sorts of crazy evil. Does it work for a modern audience? Well, here's 5 things you might want to know about Saban's Power Rangers. This could be an interesting one because I actually found some things to really enjoy about this movie. Let's start with those things. I really enjoyed the casting here. I think these 5 people that they put in these 5 colored Power Ranger suits are interesting characters. I like them. I don't know a lot about them as actors and actresses, but they do a good job here. They're likable, they're enjoyable on screen, and most importantly, their chemistry works really well together. I believed that this was a coming together of a new group of friends, and I really think that's important. It bodes well not just for this movie, but if they decide to make this into sequels upon sequels, which I hear is the rumor, I think that bodes well because you can fix the other stuff, but if you don't have a good cast at the center, I think you're in trouble. The other reason I think I found these characters believable as human beings has to do with the way they're written. Now, this isn't a well-written movie in a lot of ways. Some of the dialogue is really bad. I just mean the way these characters are written is interesting. And I think that has to do with the themes of the movie. There are themes here about transparency, about teamwork, about sacrifice, about how those things fit together and what that means. The movie, in many ways, makes me believe it wants to be about something, that it wants to be deep, that it wants to take itself seriously. And when that stuff is working, I think the movie is working. But here's the problem, and this is where we'll start getting into the negatives, pretty major negatives. I don't think the movie knows what it wants to be. The tone in this movie shifts so drastically from moment to moment, and kind of from the beginning to the end, that I'm not sure what I'm watching here. The movie that Elizabeth Banks is in, who plays kind of the big baddie in this movie, is a completely different film than the breakfast clubby movie of these kids getting together that wants to be serious. It goes from serious to ridiculous, then back to serious, and I don't know how to make those shifts as a viewer. I think I could have enjoyed the ridiculous movie, and I know I could have enjoyed the serious movie, but I get distracted by them both being in this same world. The action kind of suffers from the same thing. Some of the action is ridiculous and over the top. Some of the action is grounded and beautiful and interesting. So if the movie had made up its mind, it would have been much better off. I will say this, of the 2 choices, serious movie or ridiculous movie, I think I would have preferred the serious movie because some of the stuff in the ridiculous movie is way too over the top and silly. When they put their Power Ranger suits on, stuff starts happening and my eyes start rolling. It's just complete nonsense. There is one moment in this movie where one of the major characters, not going to give anything away, just screams to the screen, "How?" And I thought, you know what? I'm feeling you. Yeah, so much of this. How? How does this happen? Why did it happen? Where did it come from? Why does that work? There are big movie moments, again, that I won't give away that absolutely make no sense. Maybe tune into the spoiler podcast to hear some of those lined out. And because of that, you get distracted and you can't buy into the overall product. So some decent pros, some really decent cons. There is one other thing I wanted to mention as a warning. I'm not sure how product placement hits you, but just beware you're in for a 2-hour Krispy Kreme commercial. I hope that's not spoiling anything, but the amount, they probably say Krispy Kreme in this movie more than they say Power Ranger. I have never seen product placement this prominent where the logo has to be in, I don't know, like a dozen shots. Whatever Krispy Kreme paid, man, they got their money's worth because they are all over this thing. Overall, I feel like Saban's Power Rangers is an unfortunate swing and a miss because there were some good morsels there. Great casting means maybe there's some hope for the future if they can figure out how to iron out the tone differential. I give it a C with a little bit of a plus. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, let's connect further. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, I'd love that. Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Lots of my movie conversations ends up happening on Twitter. You can also check out the podcast, SiftPop, SiftPop. Just subscribe in whatever you use for your podcasts. We do that every week. We're having a good time there as well. And of course, subscribe on YouTube. Hit the subscribe logo, comment, and take a guess at the best ever challenge, whatever you want to do. We'd love to have you hanging out here as well. Speaking of the best ever challenge, let's do it. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best ever team up movie? Now I'm going to get specific on this one. This is where 5 or more people team up for a specific purpose. Now, I'm going to be judge, jury, and executioner on this. Star Wars is not a team-up movie. I know there's more than 5 characters, but they don't have necessarily that unified purpose all together going and doing it. Kind of feel the difference? All right, I'll give you a clue for mine. Mine is the one that has a ranger of its own, at least as he's introduced in the first movie. Later on, he returns as something else. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does, of course, get a point. I'd love to see your choice there as well. And as always, I'll give you a few extra seconds here to hit subscribe. Just click the logo right down in this corner.